prepare your hearts for worship. Good morning. Let us begin our service as we always do by offering up prayers to God. Father, we come humbly before you, just in awe of all that you have created, in awe of the lives that you have given us, the blessings that you have given us, and the privilege of being here and being your children. Help us to see you in every aspect of our lives as we go through the next week. Help us to make a deep connection with you today through this worship service, through the songs, through the message, through our interactions with our other family members here, with our family of God. Lord, we know that we would be nothing without you, that we are sinful, that we are always wandering away, and you are always calling us back. And we thank you for your salvation, for your mercy, for your love, and help us to show that same love, forgiveness, and mercy to those with whom we come in contact. Father, now we lift up our prayers, both answered and not yet answered, to you. We give thanks and we give the names of those who need your special help at this time. Thanksgiving for Shannon's trip. Father, we come before you today praying in unison the prayer that your Son Jesus taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Please rise and join us in worship and song.
Good morning. How are you guys? It's been overcast for a long time. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to people who are like me. My daughter's awesome. Thank you so much.
Love
song is for those tough times. You know, you need to know that the song says God is mighty enough to save, mighty enough to bring you through anything. Even in your relationships, family, even those times when you feel like no one's able to bring you through, no one's mighty enough to save you. God always is. Everyone needs compassion, a love that's never ending. Let mercy fall on me. And everyone needs forgiveness, kindness of Savior, the hope of nations. Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save forever. Author of salvation, He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Sing, so take me. So take me as you find me. All my fears and failures,
Today, saints, as I look out among us, I see that though we are a precious family and all of us are gathered, I don't see many children today. So what we're going to do is we're going to have everyone just stay with us for a brief word to the men today. We'll have the older adults and the worship and wonder children. You can remain with us today. I don't think Melda can hear me, but the babies will still, oh, there she is. Okay, Melda, if there are no babies, you can stay with us as well. And we will just have a family gathering. Is that okay? Yeah. Great. So we'll now have our announcements.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy Father's Day. Okay, now I'm going to announce the 7 upcoming events in our church. The first one today, the new members class at 9 to 9:40 a.m. Today, discuss the story of our denomination. And next week, January 23rd, we will discuss the history of South Pasadena Christian Church and the different ministries of a church. 第一件事情是今天的新成员会议，新成员学习。时间是9点到9点45，讨论的是我们教会的教派的历史。下个星期6月23号将会讨论我们教会的历史，我们的南帕基督教会的历史。以及教会在南帕基督教会服侍过的牧师。Next one is the Father's Day. Welcome men of all ages. We hope the message will encourage you in all areas of your life. Thanks for joining us today. 第二件事情就是庆祝父亲节的讲道。我们欢迎所有的男士都参加。听取这个信息，非常感谢大家的参与。Next one is the Father's Day lunch and the going away celebration. Please join us after church for Father's Day lunch and the going away celebration for Hope and Paul Phillips of Hope Plus Africa Ministries. 第三件事情是庆祝父亲节的午餐，以及为我们的破和Hope他们夫妻俩送别的会欢送会。Next one is the 50th Sunday thing, June the 30th, 2019 at 5 p.m. Let us celebrate music and worship with other disciples of Christ churches at East Whittier Christian Church at Whittier, California. 下面一件事情就是第5届星期日演唱会，时间是6月30号下午的5点钟，邀请大家都参加。我们在音乐中崇拜我们的主。Next one is Amazon Smile donations. If you do your Amazon shopping online, a donation will be issued to our church. You can support South Pasadena Christian Church by going to smile.amazon.com. 如果大家在 Amazon 上购物的话，请大家上这个网站。你在上面购物会有一部分的这个款项支持我们的南帕基督教会。非常感谢大家。Next one is agape boxes. Agape boxes are located in the rear of our church for your tithes and offerings. Now, thank you immensely for your giving. 最后一个就是我们的奉献箱，奉献箱在我们大堂的两侧和中间的门的上面，请大家把自己的奉献投递到里面。谢谢大家的奉献。Let's move to recognize our first-time visitors. If this is the first time you visit with us, please stand. We want to know your name and who invited you here. 如果这是第一次你来我们的教会，我们非常欢迎你来。请你站起来告诉我们你的名字，你从哪里来？Oh, okay, I see a gentleman. lunch together with us. We have a special table prepared for you. Please stay with us. Thank you again for visiting with us. Let's move to greeting. Now, please greet your brothers in the Lord. Please stand and give your greetings. 请大家再一起来给我们的兄弟姊妹问好。
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Woo, thank God. Amen. Can I have you take your seats, amen? Hallelujah. It is good to be in the house of the Lord. Who can say amen? Hallelujah. Oh, that's not enough. I said it is good to be in the house of the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. You know, I know we get happy when it's time to greet each other, but you know, it feels really good when you start greeting God. Amen. Who can say amen? When you get him, feel his presence. And Pastor has blessed me briefly to share a fast testimony before I read the scripture. As many of you know, and I want to thank you beforehand just for your prayers for my wife. That last week we had a rusher to the emergency. And if you know what that is, it's nothing nice to have someone in your family rush to the hospital. It's nothing nice to see someone you love look at you in your eyes and say, I'm in pain. And there's nothing you can do about it. Who can say amen to that? There's nothing nice about it. But there is something powerful when you call on the name of the Lord. Who can say amen? There is something powerful when you have hope, right, Sister Hope? When you have hope. I'm looking at hope because I didn't know this was a sister. I thought of you. Bless the Lord. I thought of you because of that hope. See, when our car broke down, right when we were supposed to take her to the hospital, the car broke down. And if you know a little, and it's a man's day today, so I'm going to say, us men, what do? We start getting mad when things start breaking and we can't fix them. Oh, I'm the only man. God bless you, man. God bless you. God bless you. I'm the only one that kicks the tire. God bless you. You know, praise God for these men of God. Never get angry. But I started getting mad, but my wife began to worship God and saying to thank God, and I got into it. So we got to the corner, the bus came, and I'm an operator, and my friend, my operator, he was driving slow, and I looked at him like, oh, my wife's in pain, but we began to praise God in the bus. We began to thank God in the bus. We began to sing God and praise God, not only in our joy, but I learned so we began to sing and praise God in our pain. We began to praise God in our, can you do that? It's not easy, but yes, you can. And I said, Lord, when we get there, please, God, I know that it's the emergency room. If you've ever been to the general hospital, you know it's packed. Because it's packed, and we pray for those that are still there and they're sick. I said, Lord, please give us favor. You know, I said, my wife, please, God, when we go through the, you know, I told her, let me go through the, you know, the security. I have to say, Lord, let us not wait too long. My wife's in pain. I don't want to be ungrateful, but also bless the other people. I didn't know how to pray. I said, bless other people. I love my wife. So before I get out of the, you know, they're checking me out, you know, with the, you know, metal detector. We walk to the, and there's people there. As we walk in there, they're not even giving our paperwork. They're not even finished putting the bracelet, you know, the things when you walk in.
I'll do the translation. Oh. This is very, very hard moving, and Chinese congregation still know that. Yeah. So Hugo 他这个上一个礼拜的时候，他太太突然之间要送急诊，所以他举手问说有多少人被送过急诊？除了我以外。Except of me, I said how many people have been visited the emergency room? Okay, so I really know that what's going on there. So 他正好要送他太太痛得不得了的时候，要去的时候，突然间他的车坏掉了。他只有一部车，他说今天是父亲节，你们这些男生都知道，家里只有你一个男生，然后你车子又坏了，你骑车子的时候，他说我很高兴 ，kick out the tire and then sympathize on you guys. So that's what he said. I tried to translate it. And 所以呢，他就说这个办法，因为他是 bus driver， 他就打电话给他朋友，开部大巴士来，就是开了他们这些人去，开了他们两位去。但是这个巴士开得很慢呐，所以他就怎么办？他就说你快一点，他也不敢讲，说就祷告神。Okay, I'm going to continue from.
So my prayer began. After that, we got out and said, Lord, let her be seen as fast as possible.
所以他就说，那神啊，求你让我的太太赶快被医生看到医生，这样子可以减轻她的痛苦。
Please keep in mind this is the emergency room on a Saturday.
你要知道，这个是礼拜六美国蛮休息，应该是礼拜六的这个 emergency， 礼拜六的这个急诊室。 那我礼拜六也去过，所以我知道。
By the time when we walked to the counter to give her the paperwork,
所以那我们就去了，要登记。
a male nurse came behind us.
一个男的护士就到我们后面来。
Not even 3 minutes.
那3分钟之内，
We were in there,
那我们就进到这个急诊室去了。
and this male nurse said, "We have a room open."
他说我们现在这个男护士说我们有一个房间是可以开的。
Hallelujah. We have a room open. That was a miracle. If you understand the general hospital in 3 minutes, that is a miracle.
所以你们要知道，你们要是去过这种所谓的公众的大医院的时候，你知道3分钟之内竟然有一个病房出来，简直是不可能的。我个人 my own testimony, I've been so many times to the emergency room on the hallway. Okay, was put there. 所以我是太多次在进到急诊室都被放在这个急诊室外的走廊上。
Those of us who have insurance and make appointments know it doesn't take 3 minutes.
那你们知道，就是你有很好的保险，然后也是有什么东西都有，到那里也不是3分钟就可以搞定的。
God bless my wife, and the doctor saw her quickly.
那神就特别祝福我的太太，那马上就有医生来看她。
The whole time we were there, we just want to finish this. We were praying, and we were reading scriptures out loud.
所以在那一段时间内，我就跟我太太两个就一直祷告，一直在大声的背诵我们的经节。
We knew that God had sent us there to remind them that He was still working miracles.
所以我们知道神把我们送到那个地方，就有一个很重要的目的，就是让周围的人看到说我们在那里就是神要救我们，就是神的奇迹的显现的时候。
Just want to say that the doctors, when they came in and patients walked by, they all looked in the room and knew that something was happening in that
所
room.
以当这些医生进出，这些所有病人或家属走来走去的时候，他们都知道说有一件事情发生了。
There was hope.
所以这个就是希望。
Thank you very much.
今天是
Hallelujah.
讲到
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Now I'm going to read the scripture. I'd like you to open up, please. Thank you again for your Bible verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 through 13. Pages 1786 to 1787. For time's sake, I'm going to begin. If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clinging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and I can fathom all ministries and all knowledge, and if I have the faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. But where there is prophecies, they will cease. Where there is tongues, they will be still. Where there is knowledge, it will all pass away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when perfection comes, the imperfection disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. Yet when I became a man, I put away childish ways behind me. Now we see but a poor reflection in the mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three things remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Amen. May the Lord bless the hearing of the reading of the word. Amen.
brother, and praise. Welcome, fathers from all walks of life. Today, we honor you. Ladies, can you join me in putting our hands together to honor the fathers in the house? I want to begin by acknowledging those of you who are visiting with us. Eddie, back there, was invited by Hugo in Hugo's chaplaincy. We're so grateful to have you, sir. The family that are local to our community who are visiting with us today. We hope that something will be shared today that will encourage you in your personal lives, your walk with the Lord, and we pray that in some way you are edified today as a direct result of being here. I want to reiterate that after this gathering this morning, we have a special lunch prepared for you men. We hope that you can stay. I felt a little better about having a special lunch for men on Father's Day because unlike men on Mother's Day who plan to take their wives and their mothers out to a very special lunch, men usually don't get lunch on Father's Day. We get a kiss. That works too. Yes. But so men, we hope you'll stay. Also, at that time, we're gonna honor two very special members with us, and that's Paul and Hope Phillips. Some of you, most of you, have had a chance to meet them, and you know that they're involved in a very dynamic ministry to people in Uganda, and so. We want to honor them. Today they're going to be leaving for a 3 or 4 week excursion where Paul and Hope are going to learn this very valuable farming technique. And Paul and I and Hope had lunch the other day, and he tried to explain it to me, but the best that I could understand was that this technique was somehow God infused, and somehow it solves many of the problems that people farming in soils that are nutrient deprived. And so we're going to pray for them today and pray that the Lord will bless their trip, that it'll be fruitful for the ministry. And so we're honored to have them with us. Can we thank the Lord for Paul and for Hope? Well, I'm excited, men, for the word that the Lord has put on my heart for you this morning. As you know, today we honor you. Fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and all the men who play a special role in our lives, in our families, and in our church. We want you to know, above all else today, that we love you and that you are valuable to us. I want to begin our time with a story. And this is a story written by a woman by the name of Irma Bumbeck. And Irma Bumbeck tells this story, you may be familiar, tells this story from her personal experience. And it is entitled, "What Does a Dad Do?" She writes, "Last year I received a letter too late to use for Father's Day, but it is still relevant. A single mother had raised a son who was about to become a dad. Since he had no recollection of his own father, her question to me was, what do I tell him a father does? When my dad died in my 9th year, I too was raised by my mother," she says, giving rise to the same question. what do fathers do? As far as I could observe, they brought the car when it rained so everyone else could stay dry. They always took the family pictures, which is why they were never in them. They carved turkeys on Thanksgiving, kept the car gassed up, weren't afraid to go into the basement, mowed the lawn, and tightened the clothesline to keep it from sagging. It wasn't until my husband and I had children that I was able to observe firsthand what a father contributed to a child's life. What did he do to deserve his children's respect? He rarely fed them, did anything about their sagging diapers, wiped their noses or fannies, played ball, or bonded with them under the hoods of their cars. What did he do? He threw them higher than his head until they were weak from laughter. He cast a deciding vote on the puppies debate. He listened more than he talked. He let them make mistakes. He allowed them to fall from their first two-wheeler without having a heart attack. He read a newspaper while they were trying to parallel park a car for the first time in preparation for their driving test. If I had to tell someone's son what a father really does that is important, it would be that he shows up for the job in good times and bad times. He is a man who is constantly being observed by his children. They learn from him how to handle adversity, anger, disappointment, and success. He won't laugh at their dreams, no matter how impossible they might seem. He will get out of bed at 1 a.m. when one of his children runs out of gas. He will make unpopular decisions and stand by them. When he is wrong and makes a mistake, he will admit it. He sets the tone for how family members treat one another, members of the opposite sex, and people who are different than they are. By example, he can instill a desire to give something back to the community when its needs are greater than theirs. But mostly, a good father involves himself in his kids' lives. The more responsibility he has for a child, the harder it is to walk out of his life. A father has the potential to be a powerful force in the life of a child. Grab it now. Maybe you'll get a greeting card for your efforts. Maybe not. But it's steady work. Amen? Amen. Praise the Lord. Bow your heads right where you are. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, because you are omnipotent and the perfect picture of a father. Lord, we men gather here today, Lord, in honor of you, and we ask that just as you have demonstrated what it means to be a father to us so well, we pray, Lord, that you would help us in our walk to follow you in this most important call. And so, Lord, it is to your throne we come for grace this morning. The grace to hear in your word instructions for how we are to father those you've given us, those you've called us to serve. In Jesus' name we pray. And everybody gathered said, Amen. Amen. I think without a doubt, the older I get, the more I realize how precious life is. The moments that we have to share with the people we love are precious. And we have to be careful, saints, that we remember to relish every single moment, because we don't know when it might be the last moment. I remember in 1993, I attended my father's funeral in Memphis, Tennessee. I was 3 years old the last time that I saw him alive before that day. And I was getting on a train leaving Memphis, Tennessee, heading for Los Angeles, California. How could I have known that the next time I would see him, he would be in a coffin and I'd be a 32-year-old man? My, how time seemed to have slipped away. Now, as a pastor, as a father, as a son, as a friend, I've had many opportunities to be at the bedside of people who were in their deathbed. And one thing that they all had in common, as they shared with me in those last days, was that it wasn't the things that they would leave behind that concerned them most. It wasn't the car, it wasn't the home, it wasn't any material thing. What they all had in common was they cared in that moment more than anything else about their relationships that they would leave behind. The people, the spouses, the children, their friends, their relatives, in one accord. They all had that sentiment. They had all come. Perhaps for many of them it was in those final moments, but they all came to the realization that what is important in life, what is far more precious than anything else, are the people we love. The relationships that we developed over the years of our lives. That's what people find more important than anything else. We go through life, all of us, trying to do the things that we think matter, the things that we think have value. And oftentimes we miss, and I think that's especially true for men, who oftentimes we're not in touch with our emotions. And so we miss those things that are truly important. In our text today, Paul allows for an epiphany. He allows us men to recognize what is truly important in life. He allows us to break out of our cocoons and to focus on what's truly important. And he says this. He says it this way. He says, when I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I understood or I reasoned as a child. You see, a child does not have the capacity to comprehend the truth of reality. By their nature, the physiology of their bodies, they are self-centered, they're short-sighted, and they're only concerned about themselves. And it's not a bad thing. And in many cases, it's beautiful as we watch them grow through the stages of life. You all saw little Santiago tossing that balloon. Right? Wasn't that beautiful? It's like you're looking at him toss that balloon, and it couldn't have, you can't imagine anything more beautiful than that. But then you see little Mia come walking up to him, and she wants to play. And what does he do? Grab this balloon and walk away. And you thought, oh, breaks my heart. I would give her 100 balloons. But that is the difference. Paul wants us to understand between a child and us as men. Wouldn't it be a shame if we never got beyond that stage where everything that we talk about, everything that we think about, all of our reasoning is for the sole purpose of what feels good to me? Wouldn't it be a shame, men, if we never grew beyond that stage in life? Paul says, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. I stopped only talking about myself. I stopped only thinking about myself. I stopped only understanding how life relates to me. And I was willing to put those things away. Oh, what a joy it would be if we all could come to that moment where we put away selfish things and we put away selfish things and we put away selfish ambitions and reasoning, and we begin to focus on the things in life that are truly important. Praise be to God that Paul, in this text, shows us three ways, men, that we begin to mature in this call that God has placed on our lives as men, as fathers, as husbands, as uncles, all the capacities that God calls us to as men. So Paul gives us the key to turning things around. I love the way this chapter begins. Some of you know this chapter as the love chapter. And I just want to reiterate the first three verses. They're so beautiful. Paul says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and confound all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that could move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor, and give over my body even to the hardship, that I can boast, but do not have love, Paul says, I gain nothing. Now, that begs a question. Why does Paul talk about growing out of childhood and into manhood in a chapter that is clearly focused on love? In fact, in this chapter, Paul talks about a special kind of love. He talks about agape love. Is there a connection between what we're called to as men and agape love? I want you to think about something, men. God defines himself as love. He is love. And so it shouldn't surprise us that God wants us as fathers, as men, to define ourselves by that same love. Men, what makes you a real man, a man of valor, it's not your physical strength. It's not what you have accomplished in your business life, in corporate America. It's not any of the material possessions that you have acquired. What makes you a man of valor in the eyes of God is your love. Men of valor demonstrate their courage by their love. Now, the word valor is defined as great courage in the face of danger, especially in battle. How many of you know, especially men, how many of you know that we are in a battle? And contrary oftentimes to who we think is the enemy, The really perilous danger that we face is the danger that we will live our entire lives and miss what is truly important. We're in a battle, men. We're in a battle to express the God-like love that this world so desperately needs. A world where division and hatred reign supreme, and we are called as men of God to be beacons of a love that Paul says is almost indescribable. We demonstrate our valor not by the physical accoutrements of masculinity or any of those things, but we demonstrate our love by how we love. We demonstrate our valor by how we love. So here are some challenges today, men. Here are some challenges today that come directly from the text that we're considering this morning. And the first challenge is this, men. The first challenge is to recognize the power of your tongue. Can I say it this way? Stop talking like a child. There is power in your tongue. The Bible says the power of life and death is in the tongue. Men, use your tongues to build up your spouses. Can I get an amen from the ladies? Amen. Don't tear them down. Amen. Don't tell them where they're falling short. Use your tongue to build them up. You will be surprised at what a kind, encouraging word will do for your wife, will do for your children. Think about a time in your life when you were a child and someone you respected had a kind word for you. I remember two occasions. I'm sure there were many, but I remember two occasions in particular. One occurred with my stepfather, who really never had a kind word. So if you ever got a kind word from him, he meant it. But I remember one evening, back in that day, some of the young folks, they won't know anything about this, Mike, but back in the day, they had what were called push lawnmowers. And the key with those lawnmowers was to get enough girth going so that the blade would spin, and even when you stop, the blade is still spinning, cutting the lawn, right? And so there was an art to whipping that lawnmower and cutting the grass. And we didn't have an edger, electric one or a motorized edger. But I remember being so caught up in this service that I had taken household scissors, John. Household scissors. And I was on my knees and I was edging the grass with scissors. And it was in that moment that my stepfather came home. And he passed by me, and he was a fireman, and he would go out of town and come back, and he'd come back that particular evening, and he says, look at, I can't tell you my nickname. I'm going to tell you this nickname, but do not call me this name, I've grown up. He says, look at Dee Dee. He has really got some spunk. Now, I don't remember my stepfather ever saying anything else, but that was as encouraging as that. But I took that to heart, and that really built me up on the inside. Another occasion was my high school coach. I had a friend on the basketball team who would pick up various members of the team who lived near him, and he would drive us to school. Leonard Johnson. And that name only means something to my brother Ernie. He remembers Leonard. And Leonard would pick us up every day. And one day I decided I would give Leonard $20 a month for gas. Imagine that, $20 a month, right? For gas for picking me up. And one afternoon, Leonard was sharing that with the coach. He says, Coach, I picked up all these guys. Do you know what? Darrell is the only one who has even thought of giving me money to pick him up. I'll never forget what the coach said. He turned to me and he says, that's because Darrell has class. Oh, do you know what that did for me on the inside? I carry that with me even through today. With your tongue, men, you have the power to change lives. You have a power to impact people in ways that they will carry for a lifetime. And we have to take hold of the fact that we no longer can afford to be children, only concerned about what pleases me. And we have to take the next step and begin to use our tongues to edify and build people up. That is your godly responsibility. It's time to put the things of a child away and begin to recognize, men, the power we have vested in our tongue. So I challenge you today to give your wife 5 kind words. And watch what it does for her. Watch what it does for your children. And so that's the first challenge. The next challenge is this. Men, it is incumbent upon us to recognize the dangers of an idle mind. And I say it this way, stop thinking like a child. Stop thinking like a child. Have you ever heard this said before, that idle hands and an idle mind are the devil's workshop? Have you ever heard that? Well, that's not in the Bible. And furthermore, if your mind is idle and your hands are idle, the devil doesn't have to do anything to you. You are destroying yourself. And without a doubt, I especially say this to men as I say it to myself. Without a doubt, one of the most prevalent ways that we engage idle minds is watching that television. The statistics say that the American household watches just under 8 hours a day of television. There are only 24, so 1/3 of the day is spent watching television. Now, I don't say this that I have this experience because of noble reasons, but for a whole year I went without TV. It wasn't because I said, TV is so bad, I'm going to give up TV. I was fighting with the cable company. Will you take that cable? I don't care about it, right? So for a whole year, I'm without TV. And it was interesting because, I was sitting on my couch and the TV was there in front of me, and all of a sudden it dawned on me that really, it doesn't matter if that TV were on or off. Essentially what I'm doing is staring at a wall. Staring at a wall for 8 hours. Can you imagine that? Listen, men, there is too much work to be done than for us to sit in front of a television for that long. Work to be done in our marriages. Work to be done in our churches. Work to be done in our spiritual lives. Work to be done in our walk with the Lord. There's so much to do. How can we possibly spend that kind of idle time doing nothing? And they say that Facebook and the other social medias only took 1 hour away. It used to be 9 hours. Now it's 8 hours because that other hour is spent on the cell phone or on Facebook. But it only took 1 hour away from the time we spend watching TV. As men of valor, we cannot afford to be idle. Not now. We cannot afford to be idle. The next time you find yourself in front of the TV, and listen, I'm going to do this myself. I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to you. I'm going to time myself for how long I'm there. You know how long your programs are. And I'm going to turn around and devote that much time to, in your case, your spouse. In my case, to ministry. or to something else that involves relationship. Relationship. We can't afford to be idols. Men of valor, we can't afford to sit on our hands any longer. We have to be intentional about our thought life. Paul says it this way. Paul says, finally, brothers, and he includes the sisters in this as well. He says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is right, whatever is noble, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, if anything is excellent, if anything is praiseworthy, he says, think on those things. I would rather spend a half hour, in preparation for this message. The Lord convicted my heart, and so I turned the TV off. And I remember sitting on my couch, and it wasn't long before the creative flow of thought and things that I could do were once again turned on. And I said, thank you, Jesus. I had forgotten. I had gotten in a rut with this TV once again. But I remembered that, Lord, I had such a productive year. Amen. That year that I turned the TV off. And I know some of you are like, turn the TV off? Man, I just as well will stop using electricity. Turn the TV off. So I'm not going to belabor it. But think about the time you spend in front of that TV being idle. Then lastly, saints, Paul addresses men of valor, and he says we must be willing to acknowledge God in all our ways. In other words, stop reasoning like a child. The actions you take in life are the result of your reasoning, the result of your best thinking. A great man once said, wisdom is the right application of knowledge, and true education is the application of knowledge to the development of a noble and God-like character. Wisdom is the right application of knowledge. Men, and the jury is in, and the conclusions have already been drawn. The wisest thing that we can do is to trust in the Lord with all our heart, to lean not on our own understanding, and to acknowledge Him in all of our ways, say, men, and then He will make our paths straight. Real men of valor trust the wisdom of God's Word. They trust God's Word to guide them. All of their reasoning and all of their conscious thought about what should be done in life, they base on the sound reasoning of God's Word. Today, we honor fathers. Today, men, we want you to know how valuable you are to us, to your families, to your church. In Jesus' name, we thank you. Give God a hand.